You staged this bonfire. Yeah, you staged it. You staged it. Staged it. You staged it. You will be sentenced. Child abuser. You staged this! You're a child abuser! You child abuser! You child abuser! Where's Jimmy Savile? Where's Jimmy Get back! Traitor! You child
Keir Starmer has encountered a notably difficult moment, facing clear signs of frustration from sections of the audience during his latest appearance. What was intended to be a rallying, unifying speech instead met with audible disapproval, underscoring the growing tension between Starmer's message and the mood of parts of the public. The incident laid bare the political challenges he now faces as leadership, attempting to project confidence, confronted in real time by a crowd unwilling to offer the response he anticipated.
While I understand calls for a ceasefire at this stage, I do not believe that it is the correct position now, for two reasons. One, because a ceasefire always freezes any conflict in the state where it currently lies. And as we speak, that would leave Hamas with the infrastructure and the capability to carry out the sort of attack we saw on October the 7th. Attacks that are...
So, what exactly did he say that transformed a moment of approval into a wave of discontent? Let's examine it closely.
Do you know what the average age of death with COVID is? According to official national statistics, it's 82 years and 3 months. The average age of death normally, 81 years. Do you understand that we because old people are dying? Do you see this graph? The last time we had this much death was 2008. That's the British Medical Journal. No, I came here to speak to this man, not your security. You have failed me.
Thank you.
I've been a Labour voter my entire life. You have failed to be the opposition. You have failed to ask whether lockdown was functioning.
Just behind. Can we just
Do you understand?
Can we go in?
Thousands of people have died because you have failed to do your job and ask the real questions. Well, I am telling you.
Starmer was once regarded as a defining figure within Labour, but those moments of confidence now feel increasingly remote. It's the political equivalent of watching a seasoned contender gradually lose command of the field.
How many more children have died on our streets, Prime Minister? How many more children? How many more children, Prime Minister? Are we going to do something? Time to change, Starmer. Come on, needed. How many more children? Is it mine next? What, are you going to stand up for our children? Yeah. Bye-bye. Got your photos, off you go. Make a real change, Prime Minister. Get something. Make a real change! Get our children! Go away!
I've just found out my friend's 9-year-old daughter was killed.
You're not wanted!
Scumbag! The person I've helped
Who said it was for Who was it?
He arrived in Southport anticipating a supportive reception, the kind typically extended to the leader of the Labour Party. Instead, he was met with a stark and unexpected reality check.
To those Labour voters who said their grandparents would turn in their graves, but they couldn't trust us with high office. To those who reluctantly chose the Tories because they didn't believe that our promises were credible. To the voters that thought we were unpatriotic or irresponsible. This is a... At this time on a Wednesday, it's normally the Tories that are heckling me. It doesn't bother me then. It won't bother me now. So you see,
The moment Starmer began speaking, the atmosphere shifted noticeably. The energy in the room waned, replaced by visible unease. Attendees exchanged glances that seemed to convey a collective disbelief. Is this really happening?
I want to pay tribute to Jeremy Corbyn, who's a friend as well as a colleague.
You wouldn't call Jeremy Corbyn a friend?
No. We have to make the case for freedom of movement. We don't want open borders. Freedom of movement has gone and it's not coming back.
Cutting off power, cutting off water, Sakir?
Well, I think that Israel does have that right. I was not saying that Israel had the right to cut off water, food, fuel or medicine. Wounded by the media, the Sun in this city, a hurt for this city. And I certainly won't be giving any interviews to the Sun during the course of this campaign.
Did you write an article for some newspaper the other day? Surely that's not going to gain you any support across the Northwest.
Would you write for them again, Sakir?
I would do, yeah.
Can you guarantee that under your leadership, the 2019 Labour commitments to nationalise water, energy, rail, the Royal Mail...
The reaction was unmistakable. A palpable mixture of disbelief, disappointment and mounting frustration swept through the room.
Question is, did they do it because of political correctness, because they were worried about the fact that he was from an ethnic minority, or did they do it to cover up the utter failures of Prevent, of the police, of the courts, of the school, of the care workers? I mean, this guy was known to be just drifting around from time to time with violent intent, with knives. And they will have known that. And the whole thing is so inexplicable to all of us.
Tice, Reform UK's deputy leader, joins me now from Westminster. Richard, did Keir Starmer preside over one of the biggest cover-ups in British history?
Well, Dan, it looks that way. I mean, we don't know really anymore. We know that the Prime Minister's announced a public inquiry. Funny, isn't it, that when the Labour Party's not being challenged, he's quite happy to announce a public inquiry, but not when Labour councillors are involved in covering up a child rape gang scandal. But there we are. Look, I think the position of the Prime Minister is completely outrageous on this, and the British people want answers, frankly.
Interestingly, this was not the first Labour event held in Southport. Under Jeremy Corbyn's leadership, audiences had listened intently, responding enthusiastically to his speeches. In contrast, Starmer's appearance carried an air of discomfort, with the atmosphere resembling that of a speaker struggling to engage a sceptical crowd.
Sky News has, for the first time, uncovered and mapped the networks on Telegram, the encrypted messaging app where the flames were fanned and the riots were organised. We've been working with Pros, an open-source intelligence startup which has a deep penetration of far-right and conspiracist networks on Telegram, to find out who is behind the messaging.
One interesting thing we can see here, especially considering this is the first day, is that the source of most of the information that people are talking about on Telegram isn't British English language community.
It is worth noting that Southport has hosted Labour events before. Under Jeremy Corbyn, audiences were attentive and engaged, reacting enthusiastically to his speeches. By contrast, Starmer's appearance was marked by visible unease, with the room's atmosphere reflecting a clear disconnect between speaker and audience.
Sorry to labour this point, but I think it's important. All summer we were repeatedly told that the Southport attack was not terror-related, wasn't being treated as terror-related. That wasn't true. Because in October, this monster was charged with a terror offence. Now, information was put into the public domain then that didn't collapse the trial. It didn't jeopardise justice. It was just months later. Now, you say you knew about the ricin and the Al-Qaeda bomb manual and it was known to the authorities. Did you know about that personally at the same time the public, the press, and you and the police were saying this is not terror-related? Because I think that's the nub of the issue and that's what's upset people. You say you couldn't speak out publicly, that you couldn't do that, but didn't the public have a right to know, not least the neighbours,